You have probably felt this before. Your washing machine works fine for a few years, and then somewhere around year 3 or 4, it starts making a noise you have never heard before. A repair technician comes out, looks at it for 10 minutes, and tells you it might not be worth fixing. Your smart TV, the one you bought because it was thinner and brighter than the old one, starts lagging after just 2 years. Apps freeze. Updates slow it down. It still turns on, but it no longer feels new. Your phone looks perfect on the outside, but after 24 to 36 months, the battery drains before dinner, and the performance quietly drops. Even your refrigerator, the symbol of long-term reliability in an American kitchen, now needs a $300 to $500 control board instead of a simple mechanical fix. None of these feel like accidents. They feel normal. That normal feeling has numbers behind it. Consumer Reports estimates that a modern washing machine is designed to last about 10 years, a refrigerator, 12 to 14, a dishwasher, around 9, a dryer, about 13. But those are projected lifespans, not promises. Consumer surveys show that a significant share of major appliances develop serious problems within the first 5 years. In some categories, more than 20% require major repair before reaching half of their expected life. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the replacement cycle for household durable goods is shorter today than it was in the 1980s and 1990s. In 1980, most appliances were mechanically simple, few circuit boards, almost no embedded software. By 2020, the average appliance had become a computer inside a metal shell. More features, more electronics, not more durability. Reliability is no longer the primary competitive advantage. This shift did not happen by accident. It begins at the design stage. Planned obsolescence does not always mean a secret meeting where engineers decide to make products fail. In most cases, it is quieter than that. Every component is given a target lifespan based on cost, warranty period, and expected consumer behavior. Design life is optimized to be good enough. Engineers calculate what is called mean time between failure. If a washing machine is expected to last 10 years, many internal components are selected to reliably survive just beyond the warranty window, not 20 years. Often, the weakest part determines the life of the entire product. A control board that costs under $20 to manufacture can disable a $600 appliance. When that board fails, the mechanical parts may still be intact, but the machine is effectively dead. The Federal Trade Commission has documented how limited access to parts and repair information can compound this problem. Consumer Reports testing has repeatedly shown that electronic components are now among the most common points of failure. No engineer wakes up wanting to build a fragile machine, but the system rewards lower costs, not longer lifespans. There is another force shaping this outcome. Price. American consumers are highly sensitive to upfront cost. Walk into any big box retailer and the competition is obvious. Bright sale tags, holiday discounts, financing offers. The difference of $100 can decide which machine goes into a cart. Manufacturers respond accordingly. Over the past 3 decades, global supply chains have been optimized for cost efficiency. The National Association of Manufacturers reports that a large share of components used in U.S. appliances now come from complex international sourcing networks developed since the 1990s. When price becomes the main battlefield, materials get thinner. Components are standardized. Margins are protected through cost reduction, not over-engineering. Adjusted for inflation, many appliances today cost less than comparable models in the mid-1980s. But those older machines were heavier, mechanically simpler, and often built with fewer electronic failure points. Lower prices feel like progress, but something else was quietly traded away. Behind pricing pressure is a deeper structural shift. Financialization. Most major appliance manufacturers are publicly traded companies. Their performance is measured every quarter. Earnings per share, revenue growth, operating margin. These numbers move stock prices. Durability does not show up clearly in a quarterly report. The Wall Street Journal has repeatedly noted how public companies face constant pressure to deliver short-term gains. Harvard Business Review has written about how quarterly capitalism can distort long-term product strategy. If a company can reduce manufacturing costs by $20 per unit across 1 million units, that is $20 million added to margin. Investors see that immediately. If a product lasts 5 years longer, there is no immediate financial reward. In fact, a faster replacement cycle can generate more predictable repeat sales. Shorter lifespans mean customers re-enter the market sooner. Revenue becomes more frequent. Executives are not usually rewarded for building machines that outlive 2 decades. They are rewarded for meeting guidance this quarter. In that system, reliability competes with financial targets, and financial targets usually win. At the same time, the market looks more competitive than it really is. Walk through an appliance showroom, and you will see a wall of different brand names, different logos, different price tiers. It feels like endless choice, but many of those brands belong to the same parent corporations. Over the past several decades, mergers and acquisitions have consolidated large portions of the appliance industry. Multiple labels often share the same manufacturing facilities, the same suppliers, even the same internal components. A washer sold under one brand may use nearly identical parts to a model sold under another. When true competition narrows, the incentive to differentiate through durability weakens. Marketing, features, and price segmentation become the main tools. Consumers see variety. The underlying engineering is often far more uniform. It creates the illusion of choice while reducing the pressure to build something that dramatically outlasts the rest. Then comes the math that seals the decision. Consider a typical washing machine in the United States. A new mid-range model often sells for $500 to $800. Now imagine it fails after 5 or 6 years. A service call alone can cost $150 to $200. Labor rates for appliance technicians commonly range from $25 to $40 per hour, sometimes more in major cities. If the problem is a control board or electronic module, the part itself can add another $150 to $300, depending on the brand. Suddenly, the total repair estimate lands between $300 and $400. That is 60 to 70% of the price of a new machine. The Federal Trade Commission has reported that manufacturers often restrict access to original parts, diagnostic software, and repair manuals. Independent technicians may face higher part prices or delays. Consumers are left comparing a costly repair with the simplicity of buying new. When repair approaches 70% of replacement cost, the rational economic choice shifts. Reliability is no longer defeated by engineering. It is defeated by arithmetic. Today, reliability is no longer only mechanical. It is digital. Modern products depend on firmware, embedded software, and remote authorization systems. A device can be physically intact, yet functionally limited by code. In the smartphone market, companies like Apple use component pairing systems that require certain parts to be digitally matched to the device. Battery replacements and screen repairs can trigger warnings or reduced functionality without proper calibration tools. In agriculture, farmers have reported that some John Deere equipment requires authorized software to reset or unlock systems after repairs. The machine may be mechanically repaired, but without digital clearance, it cannot fully operate. Software updates can also slow older hardware or end entirely. Once support stops, compatibility with apps and services gradually breaks down. Durability now depends on servers, licenses, and digital keys. The lifespan of a product is no longer defined only by metal and motors. It is defined by code. All of this adds up to something larger than inconvenience. The United States generates millions of tons of electronic waste each year. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that e-waste has grown steadily over the past 2 decades as consumers replace devices more frequently. Shorter product lifespans mean more manufacturing, more shipping, more disposal. The upfront price may look affordable, but the long-term economic and environmental costs expand quietly in the background. At the same time, skilled trades are in short supply. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows persistent shortages in technical repair occupations. Fewer people are trained to fix complex systems, and fewer businesses survive on long-term service models. trust changes too. When products fail early, brand loyalty weakens. Consumers expect replacement, not longevity. Reliability becomes a premium feature, sometimes a luxury. America optimized for price and quarterly profit, not for durability. If you step back, a pattern becomes clear. We did not suddenly forget how to build durable machines. The engineering knowledge still exists. The materials still exist. The capability is still there. What changed were the incentives. An economy optimized for lower upfront prices, global cost efficiency, and quarterly earnings will naturally produce products that are good enough for now, not necessarily built for decades. Consumers respond to price signals. Corporations respond to shareholder signals. Supply chains respond to margin targets. Software ecosystems respond to recurring revenue models. Each decision makes sense in isolation. Together, they reshape what reliability means. The result is a replacement economy, one where ownership cycles shorten, where repair becomes irrational, where durability is marketed as a premium upgrade rather than a baseline expectation. And that shift has consequences beyond appliances and phones. It changes how we value things. It changes how we value work. It changes how long we expect anything to last.